they all have different cultures. Peace, King says, peace, King, peace. Mind
Peace,
y'all,
King.
y'all more than welcome to come up to. So in our culture, our women serve Allah. If our women do, if our, all right, let me put it in this context too, because it's a flip side to this coin, right? If our women do serve us, they are serving that spirit of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala within us. Check out what I'm saying. In the Quran, in the Quran, it states that Allah breathed his spirit into man, right?
Mm-hmm.
He breathed his spirit into man.
Mm-hmm.
In the Bible, God declares, and he blew his breath into man, and man became a living soul. So, keeping that in context, we have the spirit of God Allah within each and every one of us. So, if our women is serving us with all due respect to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, she is serving the Allah within us. Because if you're not seeing the spirit of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in your man or in your woman, what are you seeing? What are you seeing? See, when you able to see, you can't separate God from his creation. And I think that's where a lot of people get it wrong. They try to separate his creation. God and his creation is one.
Mm-hmm.
That's why Prophet Isa declared, I and my Father are one. I and my Father are one. It's called Tawheed in Islam, the oneness of Allah, the unity of Allah. What is the unity of Allah? The unity of Allah. When we make our salah, we are literally at one with our Creator, that being Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When you look at these prayer beads, right? We call them dicker beads, Dikr, dicker beads. These beads represent, there's 99 of them. It represents a step on the Il Mustaqim. So as we saying our Islamic chants, right? As we uttering the sacred names, the attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we are drawing closer and nearer to him. This is what we teach in Sufi Islam. We are drawing closer to our Creator. And on that 99 bead, when we reach it, that's us being one with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is the link between us and God, spiritually. Physically, if a person looking at it from a mundane perspective, they won't understand it. But spiritually, symbolic, this represents our oneness with the Creator. And each bead represents a step getting closer. It's an old Islamic saying that you take one step to God, he take two steps towards you. You take one step to him, he take two steps towards you. And then in the Quran, it also declares, Allah declares in the Quran, he says, and when my servants ask thee concerning of me, tell them that I am nearer to them than their own jugular vein. I'm going to say it again. Check this, y'all. In the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala declared this. And when my servants ask thee concerning of me, tell them that I am nearer to them than their own jugular vein. You know what your jugular vein is? That's deep in. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that he's closer to you than your own jugular vein. That means that he's deep rooted in you. Now that's Quran. He's deep rooted in you. In Africa, what a lot of people didn't understand is in Africa, they practice this but in a different form. They call it divination. And that's when you bring about that spirit of the Creator within you. You rouse that spirit up and you conquer this flesh. You know, and in Sufi Islam, they have what's called the whirling dance, where they turn around in circles. They stretch their arms out, and they turn around just in a circle, like a child. You know, when children when they spin around.
Yeah.
Well, in Sufi Islam, they do this, and At first, I ain't gonna lie. When I first saw it, I'm like, man, this crazy as hell. What y'all doing? But I listened to an elder shake, right? And what he said was so out cold. I sat on this lesson for about a year. It was like, damn, that's out cold. That's deep, right? So thank you, Queen, for sharing the live. And what the brother said, he say, when we scratch our arms out, it represents a spiritual propeller, like a helicopter.
Mm.
And so when we turn, right, counterclockwise,
Mm-hmm.
when we turn, our spirit is raising up and the flesh is going down.
Oh
Peace and
wow.
blessings to you too, Queen. Peace and blessings to you. The spirit is rising up like a helicopter,
Mm-hmm.
and the flesh is going down. I say, damn,
Wow.
that's cold. So that's why we scratch our arms out and we just turn, because our spirit is ascending to the seventh heaven, and our flesh is going down. We getting rid of this flesh.
Do you do that?
Absolute, absolute. It's a beautiful measure. Straight up, I ain't gonna lie. Like
Do
it's
you feel
beautiful.
more at peace after you do it? Like, is it like real peaceful? Like, how do you feel
Yeah,
after?
absolutely, absolutely. Because it's so much to go with it. It's not like we just do that alone. There's other
Right.
things that go with it. Like we singing, we
Yeah,
sing
yeah,
and
yeah.
praise Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala at the same time. So anytime like a believer in Islam, a servant of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, anytime like we sing and praise to our Father Allah, we always at peace. Allah is the God
Mm.
of peace. We
Yeah.
have to keep in mind too, y'all, that Allah is a two-syllabus word. The prefix is al, which means the or the one. And then the suffix la means God. So all it is just the Arabic, it's just the Arabic word, the Arabic name for God. So if I call him Allah, thank you, Queen. Thank you, Shukran. If I call him Allah, you call him Jehovah, Yahweh, God, Jah, Elohim, Eloi, Eloi. I mean Eloah, Eloah, Eloah. We are still saying the same thing, just in different languages. I think the division come because we say, man, Allah's God. You say Yahweh is God or Elohim. Man, we
Yeah.
get caught up on the language barrier. You get what I'm
Mm.
saying? We get caught up on the language barrier, forgetting that in the Quran, it declares that to Allah belong the most beautifulest names. So if you
Right.
say you a Jehovah's Witness, I'm gonna say I'm a Jehovah's Witness because I understand that Jehovah is just another name for God, just in
Is
a,
Buddha a
just in
god?
another dialect of the Hebrew. So I don't get caught up on the language. I don't. I bear witness that there's no God but the one God. I don't get caught up on the language.
Yeah.
I understand that different nationalities have different national languages, and they have
Right.
different names for their God. Straight up. So
Is Buddha a god?
no, Buddha wasn't his name. Buddha just means the enlightened one. That's ancient Sanskrit from Kush, India. And Buddha just means enlightened one. It's a title. His
Mm.
name was Gautama Siddhartha. That was his name,
Oh.
Gautama Siddhartha. He was a young prince. I'm gonna end up doing a lesson on him too. I got books on all religions. Um,
That religion is
this
interesting, and there's some peaceful people. Like, nothing could bother them. I'm
yeah,
like, sheesh.
yeah. But you got to understand the discipline that come with that.
Yeah, there's a
It's
lot
a
of
it's a
discipline.
discipline. Like they spiritually discipline themselves. Like
Yeah.
one thing I learned about studying Buddhism, which I've studied along with Hinduism, is that their main focus is this: we in this world, but we not of this world.
Mm.
And really, that's how all of us should be, including myself. I'm striving to get to that point in my life where
Yeah.
I'm in this world, but I'm not of it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That's a hell of a lesson. I mean, A lot of people don't
Yeah.
know, but Jesus, aka Prophet Isa, he studied Buddhism. His mother Mary, his mother Mary goes to Islam, right? Because a lot of people think Islam began with Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be on him. But if you read the Quran, Adam practiced Islam, the very first man. Adam practiced
Mm.
Islam. Um, Jesus practiced Islam. Isa, King David practiced Islam, right? And that could be proven in the Bible, not just the Quran. That could be proven in the Bible, in the books of Acts. Also in the books of John, Jesus always greeted with Assalamu alaikum all throughout the Bible. All throughout the Bible, that's how Jesus greeted with Assalamu alaikum. How did Jesus pray? Jesus prayed bowing his face towards the earth. You know, that's all in the Bible. We've been proved that years ago in
Mhm.
that Bible. But his mother Mary, peace the way peace. His mother Mary, as well as Elizabeth, John the Baptist's mother, what they don't tell you in that Bible is when Herod the Great, the Roman king who ruled over different districts of Israel, when they say that Joseph took Mary to Egypt, Mary and Jesus to Egypt, they cut that story short because they didn't want y'all to know exactly where they went in Egypt. They went to Zoan, Egypt. They didn't want to tell you who they lived with in Egypt. They lived with Elihu and Salome, right? Elihu and Salome were master teachers in Buddhism. They practiced the Buddhist faith, right? Peace, Queen. Peace and welcome, Queen.
Assalamualaikum. Peace and
Walaikum
blessings.
salam, sister.
I didn't mean to
They
interrupt
practiced.
you. Actually, I hit it by
You
accident.
you not interrupting. Listen, you not interrupting, and you more than welcome to come up here and build with us. You hear me? This is a panel where we go build and enjoy each other's peace.
Mhm.
Alhamdulillah.
And if you got something to add to it, please feel free.
Hey,
Um,
Queen.
How y'all doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. Good.
Hey, Devray.
Just taking no time.
Yo, peace. Hey, is
Elihu
it
and
she?
Salome, peace the way peace. How you doing, King? Peace.
Yo, peace. I have a question for you.
Oh, I don't like gifts,
You can ask
but thank
whatever,
you.
King. Go ahead.
So when you speak about Jesus, do you believe he existed physically, or is it metaphorically, like a conscious?
He existed physically. It's actual physical proof. Um, if you look up Jesus' burial in India, he's actually buried in India. Like BBC News did a documentary on him.
His name
And
wasn't Jesus, right?
huh?
Didn't you tell me before his name isn't Jesus, it's something else, and he was a homo?
No, that's you talking about Julius Caesar.
Oh,
Not Julius Caesar. What's his name? Um Caesar
King
Bajor.
James?
Caesar
oh
Bajor.
yeah. Okay.
And
Sorry.
King
Oh,
James was the homosexual.
yeah. King James. Sorry, I get them
King
confused.
James.
Sorry. Poor
So
Jesus.
when it comes to Jesus, right, you can actually find his burial site. I'm gonna show it to you.
Hey, asking you.
All right, so check out this. Let me show y'all this, right? I think this is connected to my Wi-Fi. Yup, it is. All right, so check out this. All right. So if you look right here, this is actually where he's buried at. They did a documentary on him, BBC News. They
Oh
was able to
wow,
go
that's where
inside
Jesus is at.
and everything. But it's not just this as a cross reference, right? But also I have I have the book written by the priest of the ancient Himalaya mountains. And they actually have it documented that Jesus actually traveled to India. Now that come from the Himalaya text. That comes from the Himalaya text. I have physical copies of that. The third cross reference would be the Gospel of St. Thomas, which any and everybody can download the free PDF file, right? Now, Thomas was an actual follower, disciple of Jesus, Isa, Prophet Isa. And Thomas died in India. But what they don't tell you is that Mary, his wife, along with Jesus, they all traveled to India together. That's where he went. That's where he escaped. That's where he died at the age of 66. And he had children while in India. Now,
Right.
all of this is documented. Yeah, all this is documented. So, yeah, that's his burial site. And you know what? Real soon, I
We're
want to
talking
do a
about the
lesson
real
on Jesus
Jesus,
in India. I'm gonna bring out those texts.
Say
the
she.
actual
Yeah,
Jesus.
yes, sir.
So all right, you believe Jesus existed. So what do you subscribe to the Bible? Like what's your religious what's your beliefs?
I make certain subscriptions because in the Bible it's cool to rape women,
Hmm.
right? It's cool to kiss
Uh,
men in certain passages, right?
right,
So I can't make subscriptions to that. I can't get jiggy with that. Also, it's cool to practice cannibalism in the Bible, right? So
Mm.
the far as the laws, like the laws in Genesis, I make subscriptions to those, right? Because I don't consume pork. Among other things, right, in those laws. Um, and then like there's spiritual lessons in that.
right,
Those are the things I focus on. But far as like the physical activity that was going on in that thing, I can't make no subscriptions to cannibalism. So I look at the spiritual
right,
lessons and that what they say, eat the meat, throw away the bones. Right.
right. So all right, let's take it a step further. What about
But
uh
my subscription, go ahead.
go ahead,
You
go
good.
ahead. All right, so
No,
what
no, go
about
ahead. Go ahead, King. You good. You good. Go ahead.
all right, so what about all right, you believe Jesus existed. Okay, what about God? The whole thing that went on with God and him talking to God, like, so do you believe there's a God?
Absolutely. I practice Islam. So in Islam, we got to take what's called the Shahada. You know, we got to take the Shahada, declaring there's no God but Allah, subhanahu wa ta'ala. So I can't, I can't practice Islam if I don't believe in God. You know, and then you have a lot of people like, especially on this app, they be like, man created God. I'm pretty sure y'all heard that before, right? God don't exist. Man created God.
Right,
Well,
Yeah.
check this out, right? This is simple. This is for my brothers and sisters. This is how we eliminate this, right? All you got to do is take a person to Genesis. Take a person to Genesis. It's 3 points that can remove all doubt, right? It says, in the beginning, that's time. We all agree that time exists. In the
Mm-hmm.
beginning, that's time. God created the heaven, that's space, and the earth, that's matter. God has to be outside of time, which is limited, which has a beginning and an end. God has to be outside of space, heaven, right? And he has to be outside of matter, which we exist in. There's no way that time, space, and matter can create God. It's a part of his creation. Second point, outside of the book, that's just a book reference. Let's go with what's in our hand. You know that the name Allah is written in each and every one of our hands?
Yep.
hey Sheik, before
No
you
one
go
can deny
on,
this. Now we go check. Huh? Go ahead, Ken.
before you go on, like, I just want to
Yes.
tackle that first thing, time. Like that
Yes,
time
sir.
time really doesn't exist. Like the time that we have is it's a made up point, so there really is no time.
Some people do believe that time is there's no such thing as time. It's made up, it's man made. I've heard that before.
Yeah, but in order for time to be real, like you would have
Jake,
to
what
have
are
a
you looking at like
in order for time to be real, you would have to have a beginning. There is no beginning. Who can tell you the beginning of time? So that tells you right there, like time, like we have a time period from what we know from where we started, but truly there is no like time. There is no beginning because there's no end.
All right. So I hear you. Um, Let me break this down for you, right? I would agree that time at one point time didn't exist. Let's put it like that. Time
Right.
didn't exist. It's a creation. Man does have a beginning. Man does have a beginning. At one point, this earth didn't exist. I mean, even if we go outside of religion, if we just go with science, right? They have what's called the Big Bang Theory, right? Even when we go to
Mm.
Kemet, if we go to ancient Kemet, right? And I have multiple books on Kemet. When you look at the writings on the wall, right? You have the quote unquote Egyptian deities, right?
Right.
Which just represent the principles, aspects of the Most High, right? A lot of people think that Egyptians practice um uh they worship multiple gods. That's not true. And
Oh no, you're breaking up, brother.
man has his beginning, right? We didn't always exist in this physical form. There was a time when this didn't exist. But when we fell into this physical flesh, when we came into this physical realm, we began to
Right.
recording certain periods in human life, human activity, right?
Right.
Because we knew that we had generations that was going to succeed us. So in order for
Mm.
them to understand a present condition and to build a future, we had to write our thoughts out of the past. We had to record. So
Right.
I would agree that time, right? Time was began by man. It started with man documenting things. Far as
Right.
in the Bible, when it speaks about in the beginning, God created time, we're talking about what's the term I'm looking for? We're talking about infinite in the beginning. We're talking about a time period of spiritual beings. Because again, we didn't always exist in this flesh. This could be proven when you go to sleep. Well, when you quote unquote go to sleep, we don't say sleep, we say rest. That is actually the ultimate reality when we leave this flesh. It's called astral travel. You will read about this in Islam. You will read about this in Judaism and Christianity. You will read about when Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be unto him, when he had journeyed on the beast. When he journeyed on the beast and he went into the heavens, right? He was in a deep sleep. Matter of fact, it speaks about when God created Eve, he caused Adam to fall into a deep sleep. When the angel Gabriel came to Joseph, he was in a deep sleep. This right here speaks on the ultimate reality. And when you sleep, you can still exercise your five senses, King Dwayne. You can still see, you can still hear, you can still touch, smell. All you can still exercise your five senses even in your sleep. That goes to show that this physical realm isn't reality. This is an illusion. We have been trained to identify this physical world by shapes, sizes, colors, and names.
Right.
So I hope you get what I'm saying, King.
Yeah, like I'm just trying to build on
Talk to me.
like God, and understand where people come from when they say they
Yes,
believe
sir.
in God. Because I don't believe in God because I never have any interaction with the God.
Mm.
So what my question to you would be, how can you believe when you have no interaction with God? And if you do, can you like enlighten me on some of those interactions?
Absolutely. That's a beautiful question. Um, I interact with God Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala every day, every single day. When I wake up, when I sleep, I feel his protection over me. Um, Not just that, but even when I'm praying, I'm interacting with my God because prayer is supplication. Peace, Queen, Oracle, peace, peace, Queen. I'm interacting with my God in the midst of me praying. That's supplication. That's me invoking his mercy and his forgiveness. That's also my moment, my private moment where I commune with my God, when I sit down and I talk to him, right? Um, Secondly, right, you would even have people say, how can you believe in God when you never saw him? But let me break this down. It's a lot of things that we don't see that exist. We
Like
don't,
faith.
right. We don't, right, exactly. We don't see oxygen, right? We don't see oxygen, but we see the effects that it has on us in this physical realm, right? You can't see oxygen, you can't see air. But again, if I set a flag up, a flag on a flag post, you go see the effects, right? So if the effects is real, then the cause has to be real. You have what's called the cause and effect, right?
Right.
They
Hey, can I?
they use that in the scientific method, the cause and effect. So I see the effect that God Allah had on my life. I see it. I bear witness of it. So if I see the effects, then he being the causeless cause and the rootless root from which all things spring from, he has to be real because again, I feel the effects, I see the effects. And if it's an effect, it has to be a cause. And he the one that caused it all.
Right. When you compare like God, the effects of God to air, like you, all right, we can't see air, but if you wave your hand back and forth, you could feel it like immediately. You know it's there. Uh, like and when I say interactions with God, like what you explain is kind of like a one-way thing, and when you say talk to God, it's kind of like a one-way thing. I'm looking for like interactions where like you're like a real talk, like a conversation, like a back and forth, or if you feel some type of effect from God, like an immediate effect. I know some people say it don't work like that, but I don't know.
Well, if you remember in my previous answer to you, I say my prayer, that's my private communion, right? That's my
Right,
private communion. Remember I say that? So it's just like if I'm talking to somebody in a private moment, right? If me and them one-on-one talking, nobody else is gonna believe that conversation except the parties that was involved.
right,
So what I'm saying is in my personal communication with him, I feel the effects. You know what I'm saying? I feel the effects. Not just that, but when I met my sheikh and when I met my imam, right? The knowledge that was put up on me, that was bestowed upon me. I seen divine revelation when they broke down the Quran to me. When they sat down with me and they broke down the Quran to me, I was able to see the manifestation of the message of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It was no longer any more doubts. It got to
right,
the point. I'm gonna tell you something, right? Check this. And that's not the brag or be boastful or vainglorious. I'm gonna tell you the beautiful effects of God Allah, right? When I jumped on this Il Mustaqim, when I began walking, it put me in powerful positions to the point where the government of the United States had me on the national news, had me in the newspaper. Most of the people on this app seen that I actually have the newspaper. It put me in a position, peace and welcome, Queen Oracle. It put me in a position of where government officials wanted to hear what an Islamic dignitary, a young one at that, I was 29 years old, an Islamic dignitary, they wanted to hear what I had to say. My voice mattered. Our voice mattered. The Islamic community voice mattered. They wanted to hear what servants of Allah thought. And they wanted to hear our input and how we felt about the harsh conditions that our community is under and what we want to do and what we wanted them to include in the agenda, right, for our community. So I bear witness that there's no God but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because I see the effects and I see the positions that he put me in real life, in real time, to actually make a change, to actually make a difference in other people's life and to inspire others to join us on this El Mustaqim. And then
Right.
on top of that, everything I ever asked Allah for, listen, no BS. Everything I asked Allah for, he gave it to me. I bear witness, everything, bro. This is no cap. Anytime I cried out and prayed to Allah, subhanahu wa ta'ala, he literally gave it to me. I had to put in the leg work, but he led me in the direction I needed to go in order for my blessings to manifest. So I can't deny, at this point, the stuff that I've seen and the stuff that I physically experienced by way of me asking for it, begging, crying for it, he gave it to me. It's no one who could deny my personal experience.
Right.
At this point, it's beyond just the book now. It's what I physically bear witness to.
So, all right, I would ask. So, in your belief or religion, what does it
Yes, sir.
say? What is the consequences to a non-believer, and is the consequences is gonna is it during that person's life, or is it after death? Do you get the consequences after death? So, what is the consequences of a non-believer according to your
Let me put
religion?
it. Check it. Let me put it to you this way: from different believers, you go get different answers. I'm gonna give it to you straight up. Allah has infinite mercy and compassion for his creation. I'm gonna say it again. Allah subhanahu, when you open this Quran, before you go into any chapter, you go run into Bismillah, El-Rahman, El-Rahim. In the holy name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. Allah wishes for you to join this El Mustaqim. In the event that you are unable, and what I mean by that, hear me out, y'all, have patience. I don't want my Muslim brothers and sisters to get impatient. Just hear me out first. In the event, because I'm going to tell you, when I was growing up, I didn't have a masjid that I knew about. I didn't have the Islamic temple I knew about. I had to literally go to a whole nother level in life in order to reach my Islam by way of the prison system. I had to go there because you didn't have no sheikhs and no imams on the corner giving us Islam. So all I knew was Christianity. But I strived to live the best way I could with what I knew. I didn't have the laws of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but Allah, his infinite mercy, led me on this El Mustaqim. Far as the non-believers, how can you believe in something if you didn't receive the message? You know what Allah said in the Quran? We do not seek to destroy any community, any nation, until after they receive the message, and them receiving the message if they deny it. Right now, you're receiving a message. Prior to you receiving this message from the Sheikh, right? You may have not knew about it, but now you have been warned. Again, in the Quran, Surah 15, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, We do not destroy any nation, any group of people, any ummah, any community until after the message has been revealed to them. The message is not revealed to you. So if you deny it after receiving it, may the forces be with you. But it's nobody who's more powerful than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You will be destroyed.
And
Now,
what
if you haven't received the message, he gonna show you mercy. But on this panel today, everybody got the warning. So it's on you if you decide to join. It's on you if you're not. We can't force Islam down your throat. Islam, we don't force people to join the religion, the faith. There's no compulsion in the faith of Islam. Because if we force you, then you're not gonna be sincere. But you received the warning. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, may I say one thing? Greetings again, panel. Just real
Go
quick.
for it, Queen. Go ahead.
I gotta go through my life, but I can understand where he's coming from. Coming from um, a situation where my mom was in the Black Panthers and my dad and uncles were soldiers for Malcolm X. So initially, when my mom, the government came in and did whatever they did for the Panthers, to get them out of existence or to neutralize their efforts. At the same time, they was working on the minister. So I grew up with a strong God foundation, but even though um, I didn't know it, my family was very deep rooted in spirituality, not just religion, because I had Islam. But when, I grew up in a Muslim community, I went to a Muslim school, and this is after being taught by Panther women who were setting the foundation for the young queens and the young, kings, me, Tupac, all of us. And so when they started knocking them off, I would go to my mom and my dad were out of town, different rallies or whatever, and I would go to my grandmother's house. My grandmother was Christian, and she would always take me to church with her. So I kind of grew up with both religions, but it was a lot of things. Of course, you can imagine being in that type of environment and background. The discipline, the loyalty, the commitment to being a Muslima at that time. And so I wore hard, once, it gets to the point, even if you don't know, like you said, people along the way, God always sends people along the way, because there was two different religions in between. I was trying to just comprehend everything and just read as much as I can because, we were always supposed to seek knowledge for thyself as well. So, when a thing happened with the Panthers and then they killed the minister, my father and one of the Malcolm soldiers continued his work because, as you can imagine, when they first, you know, assassinated the minister, the Muslim communities were at war in New York. Bronx, Brooklyn, Queens. Because of everybody's pointing a finger as far as what. So I'm just saying this to say I grew up with those two things on either, and all I knew is because what God showed me in dreams. Like He showed me, different things that came to pass. He told me what to name my twins, which was Jihad and Jabril. Like it's just different things that came to pass in my life because I wanted that relationship with God. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to know God more. Like I would sit in church and just look at these people in these pews, and they're singing and as you can see, like such a joy. And I remember thinking, like, I want that. Like, I want that joy in me. But it was so many things corrupting in my childhood at that time. My parents were going a lot, traveling, and when I needed my mom, she wasn't there to save me. You know what I'm saying? So that played a big part, and I had to make a decision. Because all along God is, I'm asking for this, strength and this knowledge and wisdom and understanding to know Him better, and He started showing it to me. It just got to a point. Different things kept happening. I'm like, wow, wow, like, I mean, I can tell you some stories. I'm telling you, and it's so crazy. Even to this day, I still don't eat pork. I still, I don't just worship, on Juma or, on Sunday, because I feel we're supposed to pray, especially at this time right now. We are to pray without ceasing, and because you never know when it's going to be your time. And I felt like, that's something I wanted to be rooted in, not a religion. and I'm loyal to both. I can't help it. Half my family, Muslim, half of them Christian. So I'm kind of like in the middle. It's just you have to ask. I promise you, he will show you that he's real. He will show you like things in my dreams, like that come true. And at first, it used to freak me out because I'm like, oh God, why is he showing me these things? And I would try to like be a and go the other way, other than what he was saying to do or had to be done, or the rules and things that I had to follow. And at first, I was a little like stubborn about it, but in time, he kept showing me, and when I didn't listen, he spanked me, and he spanked me hard, and that just made me. I couldn't do anything but worship him more, and that relationship grows as you keep asking God for that knowledge and understanding, because God, like he was saying, like God is limitless. This person is our creator, but we've never seen him. No matter what religion you follow, because religions are man-made. I believe it's which in your spirit with God and that relationship with God, because at the end, He is the one that's going to judge us, not the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, not Jesus. It's God that's going to judge us on Judgment Day, and that's just it. I just wanted to say that real quickly. I gotta go. So I just wanted to tell your friend, the brother that I was speaking before, it took some while for it to come, and at the same time, Satan was definitely on my ass, like for me to keep sinning. So it's just a strength, something that you go through, and either you accept it or you don't. But I gotta go do my little hours. I just want to say peace and blessings to everyone, and
Peace and
assalamu alaikum
blessings.
to you. Yes, you too, sis. And y'all have a good evening, okay?
All right. Peace.
We
Peace.
appreciate you. Please come back again when you can. Thank you.
No problem, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.
Inshallah.
Hey, she. So I
Talk
got
to me.
one last question, G.
Man,
So
you can ask whatever questions you want, bro. We build in here. You can ask however many questions you got. Can I love your questions for real.
I
You
so
hear me?
yeah, I hear you. So you said a non-believer will be destroyed after he receives the message. So my question to you is, what is the message? So I could take this message and understand it.
So the message is it's no God but Allah. Muhammad is his prophet, and Islam is the true religion, right? That's the message. Um, I'm gonna break this down too. Even in the Bible, it teaches that Islam is the true religion. Even in the Bible, in the book of Acts, it tell you that the word that God sent down onto the children of Israel, preaching peace by Jesus Christ, is the Lord of us all. Now that's in the Bible. The word Islam simply means peace. It comes from salam. So when you look at this, Islam is the only religion that gives you a backbone. See, in Christianity, with all due respect, they tell you love your enemies. In Islam, it tells you to kill your enemies, to fight
Mm,
your enemies with equal
Damn,
force as
Skippy.
they fought you. Islam teaches you that if your enemy strikes you, strike them with equal force or greater. Islam tells you you ain't gotta love your enemies. Islam give you backbone. Islam is the only religion that these European spirit that we take, because in Islam it's a spirit, it's a sin to be a coward.
mm,
It's a sin to be a coward in Islam. You gotta fight. It tells you in the Quran, it says, do you dislike fighting? Is it that you might dislike a thing that is good for you? Fighting is good for us in Islam. We love to fight. Straight up. We fighting in the cause. So Islam make you a soldier. It don't raise no cowards. And that's what we need in our community. we need more of our people beating these people in the head with black folding chairs. Islam will give you the chair. You know what I'm saying? So, and and our faith, man, you know, it gives you backbone. It turns boys into men, and it teaches modesty to women. Look at how the women dress in Islam. You would never hear a woman in Islam talk about they coochie pink, they booty hole brown. You know, and it's you know, and check this, in Islam, you know, it teaches our women to be modest. You know, our women, they respect their men. You know what I'm saying? They know, because they know Allah is watching. And in Islam, the man, we respect our women. You know, so hopefully that answers your question.
Right, right. Yeah, I gotta do more research, man. Like, cause I've learned like to not be against any religion. Like, there's things and all beliefs that can help. I think you said it already. Like, you eat the fish, then spit out the bones. You feel me? Like, so I'm open to anything that's beneficial. So I really
Wait,
gotta.
you always welcome. And I don't mean to cut you off. I just gotta say this,
Nah,
bro.
you
I
good?
love your questions. You always more than welcome to build with me, build with my family. I'm the founder of the Cole family. Our co-founder is down there. His name is Sage. I got a library with over 1,000 books on any and all topic, bro. Me and you could talk about psychology. We could build
Yeah,
on we could build on herbs, King. I'm talking about I haven't I tried look, I started on the first 2 pages. I need study buddies, man. I want some people to study this with me. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Um
I'm with that.
straight,
I'm with that.
real shit though, you know what I'm saying? Like we could build on the health too, King. You know what I'm saying? I got African books. Man, I got books on everything. The pill book. My brother Sage sent me a book on oh, oil of oregano. Look, you need that oregano oil. Oregano oil go kill that COVID. Straight up. It is. I had COVID before, and when I took oregano, I'm glad you brought that up, Queen Oracle. When I took oregano, ginger root, lemon, lime, uh, black seed oil, and the hour I was dancing to Chris Brown. I ain't gonna see his song. That was my song. So I want to build on the herbs too, man. Like, you more than welcome to come up and ask questions, bro. I build on everything. I love build.
Yeah. So how often do you go live, G? Cause I've seen you
Um,
before, but you know.
yeah. I'm just now starting to go back live. Because my thing is, I was a normal paid host on here. You know, I believe time is money, money is time. I believe that people should be compensated for the time
Right,
that they give to this app. So, um,
right.
I'm not a regular host no more. Like all my people, like, they send me cash apps. I don't do the bean thing. I'm grateful if that's all my supporters got is just beans that's already uploaded. But I mean, long as the cash apps rolling, I'm on here. Straight up, I'm on this thing. Or if y'all just inbox me, but like, she, you know, I know you working your job and whatnot. You got time to go live at some point today, and I'm gonna go live. But I'm trying to just get on here, just to be on here sometimes, because as a founder, I do need to be more active with my family. I can't be a founder of a family and not be on here. I have to also be on here to support my family. So you will see me come on here more and go live more. You will see me. I
For
just gotta
sure.
work out some days. I gotta work out some days, man. Straight up. Yeah. We got some more questions. Y'all know I love building. Where the questions at? Talk to me. I love questions. I don't run from talk to me, y'all.
I had something I want to say, but I'm trying to remember what it was when that lady was talking. I was gonna say something first. She
Yes,
started
sir.
talking. What it was? It was something about religion. But I'm just trying to remember what it was.
Yes, sir. Oh, thank you, Queen Oracle. Thank you. I appreciate your appreciation of me. I thank you and I appreciate you too. Thank you.
He do be having good questions.
Man, I love his question. Straight up, like, this, I ain't gonna lie, right? That was the thing that kind of almost scared me away from religion, especially like when I was in the Christian church. I'm pretty sure we all heard this. So I went to Sunday school, right, y'all? And I thought Sunday school was just that school, right? I thought I could
Yeah.
raise my hand and ask a question. But whenever I raised my hand and asked a question, you know what the pastor told? You questioning God. And I'm like, yo, you the guy that's teaching. I'm a student. I should be able to ask questions. You know, when I go to the regular school system, they tell me there ain't no such thing as a dumb question, let alone they don't say I'm questioning God. I don't understand this
Yeah, a lot
person.
of Christians will tell you that. Like, if you ask the pastor certain questions or whatever, he'll be like, "Why are you?" A lot of them will be like, "Why are you questioning God? You're questioning God." No, I'm questioning you because it's
Yeah,
confusing. You know,
right.
it's
Like,
religion
check
is
this.
very confusing, and you need it to be broken down.
Right.
I wouldn't necessarily say religion is confusing. I would say the people that's misteaching it is confusing.
That's true. Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah,
know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Because the I'm gonna tell you something that's thank you BMW for the gift. Thank you. I'm gonna tell you something that's confusing if it's not broken down. So in the Bible it say Jonah was swallowed by a whale, right?
Yeah. Do you believe that?
Hell no.
It's bullshit.
How
That's
does
bullshit.
anybody know
Listen,
that he got swallowed?
no, that's bull crap. I'm gonna tell you why. That was symbolic. When you do your research, a whale can't swallow anything larger than the size of an apple. So how the hell did this full-grown man get swallowed by a whale who again can't consume anything that's larger than an apple? We know that was bull crap, right? So
And who
when I
witnessed
asked the
this?
pat, you say what?
And who witnessed this? Like, what human was out there in the ocean when he just got swallowed?
Right. True indeed, right? Who was the witness? Right? We need we
Yeah.
need we need primary sources. Who was in the whale's belly with him? You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
exactly. You know, who was all there? Was it a party of people? Like, what the
Right.
fuck?
Right. And you
All
mean
that.
to tell me that this whale didn't digest this human if it could swallow him? You know, we all living organisms, we all have a digestive system. So you mean to tell me this whale didn't digest them? The acids in the stomach didn't kill Jonah. He chilled in his whale for 3 days, watching the Super Bowl, watching Sexy Red and Nicki Minaj for 3 days. Don't
Hell
make no
no.
sense.
Hey,
So
Right.
I wouldn't say the religion. The religions is confusing. Again, it's people misteach. You know, they don't have the qualifications to teach. This is why I respect the Catholic religion. I don't have to agree with their doctrine, but I respect the fact that qualifications has to be met before you teach. In these other religions, any and everybody could teach. And it's opinions. It's opinion based. It's not like they have cross references, right? It's not
Mhm.
like um they have primary sources or secondary sources, right? It's just
Right.
opinions, what they feel, they think, and they believe. But you can't go to court with what you feel, think, or believe. So why would you come to religion science with that,
And then
right?
they want us to believe their belief. Like, how do we know that your belief is real? Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
That's when you become to question, the whole religion thing and, God and all
So,
kinds of stuff.
right.
hey,
You know, so yeah, I blame it on the misteacher, the miseducated, and the false leaders. You know,
Well,
we should be asking people before we seek to learn from them, what is your qualifications? What school did you
mhm.
go to? Right? We should like I know before I seek to learn from anybody, I'm going to ask, what are your qualifications? Um, where's your where's your certifications? Who recognize you as being a teacher? Because I don't want to be mistaught. You know, if I'm seeking answers from you, I'm gonna run out to the world with this shit. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to be made to look like a fool.
Mhm.
I want to be taught right. I want to know the truth. And I want to be able to explain the truth from different angles, different perspectives. So, yeah. What you
Hey, I
got for
want
me, the
You know,
wave, man? I'm messing with the wave right now. Talk to me. Or
And the
Rock, what
brother
y'all got?
Sheik has his credentials, D Wave.
nah. Like anything I get, I'm gonna do the research after I receive it. So
Yes, sir.
you know,
Yes, sir. And you
it's
can always come back with that research wave. You hear me?
right. I was just thinking, you know how the Bible, they make it seem
Oh, I'm
like
sorry, Oracle. I'm sorry, Wave. I apologize, Oracle. I'm sorry. I seen
Yeah,
the high bear.
they took the raising hand emoji out. So that's what I utilize in my broadcast
I
to
didn't
not.
know. I
You
apologize.
good?
I've been
You
gone for
good?
so
You
long. I
good?
don't know what they done
You
took
are
her at.
fine.
I'm sorry. I'm
No,
sorry.
you are
Yeah.
fine. This is your broadcast, and I do not mean to no disrespect or to interrupt at all. I just wanted to add to what it
Oh,
was you and the Queen was sharing in regards to teachers and who's qualified to teach. And I wanted to add that the difference is you put in the work to receive the accolades, the certifications, because you started with a question mark and you studied yourself approved. You understand what I'm saying? And I think a lot of the problem is it's the blind leading the blind. It's a lot of people who are listening to others based on what they feel after what it is they hear. And I feel like that's supposed to be just a starting point. I feel everyone individually is responsible for their soul. So, with that being said, if you genuinely want to find God for or Allah for yourself, you must do the work and hold yourself accountable for what it is you are fed in your research. And not you can't it's not going to be easy to point the finger at somebody else for misleading you if you chose to let them mislead you. You have to be accountable for that free will choice because it's your soul, and no one here is responsible for that more than you.
right.
That's all.
that's
Thank you,
big
King.
on top of facts. That's big on facts right there. That's big on facts. Straight up. It don't get no realer than that. That was just a straight shot, no
That
telling.
was real.
Straight up. That was real on top of real. That's why I
Very
mess with
respectable.
Oracle, man. That's why I rock with him. And y'all, I want to say this too. If y'all not following Oracle, please follow or listen. Follow the Queen Oracle, y'all. Straight up. You talking about always positive, uh, always speaking affirmations. Listen, if you having a bad day, y'all, if your day, listen, I'm telling you, because this is my sister. You straight up, you hear me? She's going to greet each and every person in that room with peaceful and powerful affirmations. You having a bad day and you see my queen sister go live, go there. You go get some
Mm.
powerful, positive energy. So again, I need everybody. If y'all rock with me, man, make sure y'all tap her box and follow her, man, straight up. Cause she go always uplift. Real talk. Talk to me. Where the questions at, man? I love these questions. Let's get it.
Yo, I was thinking, you know how the Bible say the Bible makes like chasing riches or having riches, it makes it seem like it's a bad thing. Like so I just wanted to know if what the Quran said, as far as riches goes. Like
The, the Quran says no man can have what he has not earned with his own hands. If you earn riches with your own hands, it's yours. You have it. you know, in this line, man, we don't seek to be poor. You know what I'm saying? Because we check this again. It states no man can have what he has not earned with his own hands. For prime example, I work. I got a whole job. I earn my money, so I have it. You get what I'm saying?
What if it's illegal
And yes, I'm
earnings?
seeking it. I'm Swindy, I'm seeking to be wealthy. I'm definitely seeking to be not rich, but wealthy to the point where my money makes money for me. My money go work for me. I want to be able to write my money a salary at some
What
point in my life. Straight up. You know, I
what
want to
if
be
you
that wealthy.
what if you break the law to earn your but you did it with your own hands?
That's not earning. That's not earning at all.
If you go out
Listen, check.
and and work and but it's illegal, like, but you did
If
it with
it's
your own
illegal,
hands.
we shouldn't be doing it because
Oh,
in Islam, so indeed, Oracle, so indeed, in Islam, it teaches us to be law abiders. We
okay.
don't seek to break the law. You know what I'm saying at all. We seek to live by the law, and
Not
we
in
go die
any
in the law.
situation. Like, what if it was like your child that needed like a transplant and your job wasn't gonna get the money in time, and you tried other ways to work and stuff, and then you had to break the law like that one time, but you earned your money with your hands. Like, is there any type of like um what's the word I'm looking for? Like, is there any type of like, can't remember the word I'm looking for, exceptions, or no?
All right.
Like, to
So let
save
me
your
put it to
daughter,
you.
to save your child, you got to do this.
All right. I'm gonna say this, and then I'm gonna pass it to my sister Oracle. Right. Only Allah Subhanahu wa Taala knows your heart. And in this book, Quran, you know what it states? Allah only cares about your intentions. Your intentions.
Hmm.
If you got a man, say for instance, you got this man, and him and his children is homeless and poor. I'm just
Hmm.
creating a narrative, right?
Yeah.
Him and his children is homeless and poor, and he don't have means to provide for his children. He go out and steal a loaf of bread and bring it back to feed his children. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will have mercy on him because the intention was to feed his children. Intentions is everything.
Hmm.
Now I'm going to give you scriptural proof on exceptions. King David in the Bible, did he sin? Yes. But what was his intention? Because in Islam as well as Christianity and Judaism, he recognized as one of the greatest kings to ever live, and he's a prophet in all religions. Solomon committed sins at one point, but he's recognized as one of the wisest kings to ever live. Musa, committed sins, but he was forgiven. In the Bible, you read of Jesus going to John the Baptist to get baptized. What's the purpose of baptism? Remission of sins, right? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala only cares about intentions, and he has mercy on you as long as your intentions was in the right place. That don't mean that you go on and continue on with it just because.
Hmm.
That don't mean that. We understand that people is placed in unfortunate positions at times. But the question begins, what is your intention? That's not between me. That's not for me to judge. That's not for
Hmm.
no man or woman to judge. That's your personal relationship between you and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and he is the only judge. I can't judge this creation. Only he go do it. Intentions. Remember that. Intentions. What's
Hmm.
going on? Talk to us, Oracle.
As always, you already said half of everything I was going to say, but consciousness has always been our lead. You know, even in your question, Queen, you identified doing something wrong as a difference. You know what I mean? You differentiate it. You differentiate it between doing something wrong and doing something right, which you felt was necessary to save the child. Just in that example, right? Which
Mm-hmm.
means your consciousness spoke first. You was able to separate that what you had to do was bad. That's something we have been programmed to ignore in ourselves. Consciousness. That's what's being numb in our everyday life and society, right? And if
Mm-hmm.
I feel those that stay in that can genuinely invest in faith, and I feel like that is where our salvation lies, the intentions of your heart, in complete agreement with what
Peace, y'all. Peace, y'all.
King said.
So do you think what I do is bad?
No, no. What I'm saying is, in your heart, you identify what you do, whatever it is, for
Mm-hmm.
yourself, and whatever that's telling you. Like if you, and I'm keeping it private, yet trying to tone into your spirit. So your spirit is saying to you that what you're doing is bad, but it's something you have to do for the good, right? All I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying to you is to tune into, don't let go of that truth that you spoke to yourself. You understand? That's what's going to keep you
Yeah.
from doing it for leisure versus doing what you have to do. And there is a difference.
Yeah.
It's real.
Mic drop.
And
That's real. And
Mic drop.
honey,
Mic
Damn.
drop.
you know I've been
First,
rocking
let
with
me
you going on.
go ahead,
You
God.
know I've been rocking with you going on 4 years. Honey, honesty, lust. So
Yeah.
you know I don't. At the end of the day, I'm never gonna judge you, and I'm not gonna allow nobody else to play with you or judge. Because
Mm-hmm.
again, I know you in real life, so I know your heart be in the right place. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
judge you, and I'm not gonna let nobody else judge you or play in your face. Not a soul,
Yeah.
straight up. Welcome to God's serpent. Welcome. Talk to me.
That.
Peace to you, God. What's going on with you?
Peace. Peace. What's the word?
First,
Talk to me.
I definitely want to touch on this aspect of legality versus law. You know, we got land, water, length, angle, width. We got natural, universal, cosmic law, right? And then we have this small segment, right, that has been detached from the very nature of the lawfulness and righteousness of people of eons and ancestries past, right? And it calls itself legality. Make no mistake, though, this carbon copy of the law system is nothing but corporate ordinance. You understand? Where we took the aspects of generator, operator, and destroyer as Muslims, as Mauritanians, as Berbers, as Saracens. People created government ordinance departments, right? And created this system of legality for individuals who lack nationality and divinity to fall underneath of. This is where you get the 3/5 of a man who lacks his nationality and divinity. Because if you are given God and you forget your nation, you automatically fall under the tenses of corporate policy, which is nothing more again than ordinance, statute, and policy that don't apply to you or those corporate officials, really corporate wards that impose them upon you. So that's one step. So if you feel as though there's something that is in discrepancy with legality, right, that must be done for the righteousness of your self preservation or that of your clan or tribe, so long as it's not in direct violation of the law, you know, it's open to interpretation. We all have a sin that we need to live with, or sins that we're comfortable with living with, because we're not dealing with morality and the low dimensional morality, right? We're dealing with a more heightened ability of intellect, knowing that we are cosmic beings in the flesh. And we got to exact righteousness within our own realities and universes in a specific kind of way. Now, Oracle, you came in here, you dropped a bomb on us. I mean, you thought I was going to let you slide by and by. Like, I don't have my notebook sitting right here in front of me. And as soon as you said it, I wrote it down because you thought you was slick. I slide it there, Auntie. You think you slick? That's cool. I love you anyway. Consciousness is being in our society. I feel like we got to touch on that. We got some prolific minds in the building. I can feel the energy of you all here. None of us are existing within our root chakra. We're all in the heart above here, and I feel like we can break some generational curses, diving into the fact that consciousness was hijacked, and a byproduct of this is being the nullification of the conscious mind within this society. That's all I had to say.
Hey, can you go deeper into what you mean by when you say consciousness was hijacked by who?
Yes, absolutely. So when I'm saying consciousness is hijacked, what we deal with as the physical 3D reality, right? It is based in our fixed position of perception, and given our ability to lower our perception or raise and lower our vibrational frequency, the medium stasis, or the agreed upon collective consciousness that we're dealing with, is one that has been lowered to an extremely physically dense level. The hijack of this came into being when the human mind was systematically approached, right? By that I mean you're given a cap of morality, a cap of truth, and given these confines in which you deal reality, right?
Gotcha.
You're given this catalyst was viewed through this is a spectrum of reality that only exists up to a certain point. And then once you get beyond that, what you experience in your physical body is like the shifting of time, the disappearance of distance, the cracks in the crystalline layers of reality. So when you trip or having an intense spiritual moment or a out of body experience or a non-physical communication with somebody, what you're experiencing is consciousness as it existed prior to its hijacking, before people lived throughout the amnesiac program without correcting this that we're subjected
Right.
to or subject of.
Right.
Nah, that's dope. But
So like the same
yeah,
way you see a tree now and it's like just a tree, before we knew everything that we needed to do to interact with and mesh torus fields with the tree. We don't really practice that anymore. And so consciousness has been kind of veiled to us.
Another reason we should be accountable for doing the research necessary for our design. Just thought I'd add that little gravy to the
Mm-hmm.
meat can.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Exact and correct.
Ooh, your girlfriend got a big booty. I seen
Hey,
it,
wait, hold
G.
on. Let me turn my camera on because she getting my dinner ready. Let me turn my
Keep it
camera
on, keep it on.
on.
Keep it on. No,
She getting
it ain't
dinner
no
ready right now. I'm about
fun.
to eat something. Now. I'm about to
It
eat
ain't
some
no
food.
fun if the homies can't have none. No, I'm playing. I seen the red hair, the booty. I said, oh, okay,
Hey,
queen.
man.
That's what she be rubbing on after a hard day of work.
I swear to God, right after I get off this lab, I'm about to. You hear me?
Be rubbing on it in bed and be like, thank you, Allah. Thank you, thank you.
Hey, what was you talking about? The cosmic energy of the protoplasm of the universe? What was we on, y'all?
Sorry, guys. Sorry.
Let-
I had to
let's
be
raise
fake
these.
gay.
Let's raise these vibrations, man. I was listening to my brother, the guy surfing, go. That's a beautiful name too, for real. It is straight up. I'm fucking with it. We got any more questions, y'all? I wanna hear my family build, man. Y'all know, hey, look, y'all know I love teaching, but I also love learning too. Because one thing I learned is that the best teachers are also the greatest students. So y'all know I'm open to learn. I don't know it all. I don't know it all. I ain't gonna betray that I know it all. So what's the
You
bill,
Yeah.
got
family? What y'all
circles?
got for me?
Now I was digging when you know the article said through the knowledge to your design. You know, I'm into knowledge itself, man. Like I'm into psychology, astrology, all the ologies,
So indeed, biology, the study of
numerology.
life, man. The study of life.
Yeah.
That's true.
What do you believe in, D-Wave?
Oh, I believe all is one, like all is the source. You know, I don't believe in the beginning or end. I believe we're a force of energy, willingness itself into existence. You know, just the past, present, and future is all in one. You know, you just change your mind, and you know you move towards whatever you want. All is mental, basically. If you want
Okay,
to sum it up.
that's interesting.
Yeah, I love learning though, man. I love hearing my brothers and my sisters build.
What
I'm
you
one of them
got? What
brothers.
are
I
you
don't,
eating?
huh?
Sorry.
I love learning, so I know how to be quiet and listen. I love hearing my brothers and sisters talk, man, for real. But listen, check this, y'all. I do love and appreciate. Hey, Rod, did you find your question yet?
Hell no.
Well, you got my phone number. You could call or text me. I'm finna be up because I'm finna study after I eat dinner.
What are you eating?
Steak, steak strips. She fried them. Bell peppers, onions, and rice. She
Oh, I'm
forgot the
coming.
gravy though.
I'm
Yeah, she
moving in.
forgot the gravy. Yeah, this joint slap. Always
I bet it
slap.
is.
Hey, well, look, enjoy your meal, G. You know, I followed you, and
I'm gonna follow you back.
if we
Follow you
could get a
back, King.
system, if we could get a system going, man, where we just building and learning and exchanging
Let's do it.
information. You know, we just pick something and then we just dive into that. You know,
Let's
something
do that.
practical. You know.
Let's do it. I'm open for it. Let's get a continuous system where we always going live and building with one another. Let's do it. I love and appreciate each and every one of y'all. Inshallah, see y'all soon. Y'all already know it's the code or nothing. Shout out to my code family. It's the code or nothing. Peace and love.
Or,
I'm coming to lay my head on that booty.
You know who she is. I'm gonna hit you up on the back end.
And I'm
You know who
coming
she
with a
is.
I'm coming for a plate too. When I have a migraine, I'm coming to lay
You
it on.
you better. All right, family. Peace and love.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.